From the moment my day begins, I'm bombarded by issues from the CEO on down.
Today, Optisha opens their new campus downtown.
75,000 square foot downtown headquarters.
We're having wireless issues.
The connections are dropping.
Blindly trying to find the root cause, never sure if an issue is truly fixed because my team can't recreate it.
We're trying to find the problem.
It might be insufficient
We're
bandwidth.
definitely having connectivity problems.
Without enough time or the right people, we're constantly chasing a growing mountain of problems that outpace us every day.
All the days for the network to have an issue. Today, we need to fix this fast. You think IT can pull this off?
What if my network could be intuitive? Like my senses, recognizing patterns, instantly processing information, making split-second decisions, and gaining context by clearly seeing the big picture.
We think we have the problem isolated.
Center is recommending a pass-through.
Well, you can with intent-based networking by Cisco. It provides my team intelligence from the millions of sensors and devices connected to it.
Access points stopped accepting 5
I'm going to pull up the historical data.
I'm going to run a wireless spectrum sweep from the network sensors.
Letting us travel back in time, seeing all the factors,
We need to enable clean air.
then guiding us to the right solution fast. It's like nothing before, giving us the context to know what is truly important. Now the network helps my team take the right action immediately, freeing us up to create, innovate, and help achieve what's next.
Nice work, everyone.
Intent-based networking by Cisco.
Intent-based networking, such exciting, interesting stuff. You know, Cisco DNA, it really is the network intuitive. It is this ability to flexibly, centrally manage your enterprise network, very quickly provision out new devices, turn up network functions using just a few quick clicks to lower your costs, reduce risk. And what's so great about DNA, you're going to hear about it throughout the week here at Cisco Live, is that it is open, it is extensible, it's software driven in its architecture, and it's really accelerating and simplifying your network operations. Only Cisco can provide this single network fabric, providing this deep intelligence and also integrated security. And that way we'll deliver that automation and those analytics at scale across your entire organization. Check it out. We want you to be able to focus on innovation, build your business, drive your business. Don't waste your time on things like time-consuming, repetitive network configuration tasks. It's really exciting. We've got another tape that we're going to roll to right now. Rob Boyd had an opportunity to interview one of our Orange Business Services customers. Let's go ahead and check out that interview together.
All right, welcome to the Cisco TV studios. My name is Rob Boyd, and it is my pleasure to welcome Pierre-Louis. How are you doing, sir?
Rob, today, on this first day of Cisco Live?
Yes, and it's a busy day. There are people, we've been in the keynote, and it's been extremely busy in a good way. So a lot of stuff happening. Thank you for your business. Want to talk a little bit about what you guys are doing, but first and foremost, make sure you understand what is your title, what is your responsibilities?
So I am VP of the Connectivity BU within Orange Business Service,
Okay.
in charge of all the WAN and LAN offering for Orange Business Service.
So when you say Orange Business Services, can you define what that means? That's a specific subset of everything that Orange could be doing for customers, correct?
Yes, Orange Business Service is dealing mainly with the enterprise customers within Orange.
So
it's
business
the
to business?
Business
That's
to
it?
business.
Okay.
It's a B2B entity of Orange. So we are serving customers around all over the world in 220 countries and territories.
Wow.
And we are mainly serving MNCs who have the wish to have a one-stop shop in their telecom needs. And here we are to serve them.
Well, I respect what you do because I think that's one of the most competitive and just easy to overlook. You guys are constantly under pressure to differentiate your services, I think, and to really provide value for customers and showcase and make sure that everyone understands that it's not just about providing bandwidth. It's not about just simply providing a circuit. There is a lot that needs to be done, and you guys have found various niches to be able to do this. But what are you seeing specifically in terms of market trends in your area that you guys have had to adjust to?
Yes, today the market is very active, as you know, and our customers have very different needs. We have segmented them in various categories. You have the one who wants hybrid networking, combining internet and VPN,
Okay.
and are mainly application driven, I would say. You have the one which are looking much more for agility, where they need a lot of orchestration in order to be agile in their network deployment. You have the one who are more internet-centric. They think that internet now is their network, and we need to bring them some solutions.
Yeah.
And you have the one who are application-centric, I would say. They have already put their application in the cloud, and they need a very easy connectivity to make their application work wherever their end users are.
Has it been rapidly changing in your perspective from what you've seen over the years? Is it hard to keep up? Is it hard to stay a step ahead of where customer demand is going, you think?
Yeah, the work is changing very fast. For example, just give you an example. We estimate that 2 or 3 years ago, if you are at one site of a customer's, around 50% of the traffic of the site is going to internet.
Okay.
We estimate that today, this proportion is 80%.
Wow.
So you see the change is over 2 or 3 years is dramatic.
Right, it's going to shift your profit models, it shifts what services you're going to be able to invest in, I'm sure. Now, as I understand it, you guys have been using SD-WAN has become an important service for differentiating what you provide. Can you tell me, for anybody that may not be familiar with, from your perspective, because I think of it from a customer perspective more often, but as a service provider, SD-WAN is doing what for your customers?
So SD-WAN for our customers is a way to do dynamic application routing.
Okay.
In a nutshell, is a way to maximize the use of internet and VPN in an economic way.
Okay.
So as such, what we have developed as Orange Business Service is a managed SD-WAN solution. We are taking the brilliant Cisco Viptela technology,
yes,
putting that in our architecture, which means that we are doing a specific architecture which allows underlay and overlay service to work nicely together.
Okay.
We are doing service wrap around this solution, which means that we are managing the end-to-end solution for our customers, including the internet sourcing if they want to. So we are again a one-stop shopping there. And globally, we are including also all our security functions. You know that for a network service provider, security solution is a must. So we are packaging that with our SD-WAN solutions.
Together. Okay.
And finally, I would say we are offering to the customer an operation mode where he can delegate everything to us if he wants, or he can take back a little bit of the service.
Oh, nice. Okay.
If he wants, if you want to take control of it. And so that's a very nice way to accompany our customers in this SD-WAN transformation.
Yeah, I would think you do have customers that may initially need you to take care of everything, and as they mature, you're saying that you're not forcing them into an all or nothing. You can allow them to scale into exactly as much as they can handle, or as much as they need you to handle.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
And you have the same on the reverse. You have customers who want to handle everything first time, and then say, well, this is a bit too complex, or I don't want to do that, and then give it back to us.
Well, I tell you what, as we wrap up here, is there anything you want to make sure we don't go without saying? Because first of all, thank you.
No, I think that's
it's good?
the usual
no,
way.
You're very well spoken.
The usual way we work with Cisco. We align the best of your technology with the best of our services in order to serve our customers.
Well, we appreciate your business and your partnership as well. It's fun to go to market with you, and thanks I'm glad Viptela is working out well for you in the SD-WAN space. Jean-Pierre,
thank you
so much. Guys, please check out Orange Business Services, especially in terms of what they can do for you in that business-to-business relationship. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. Great interview, Rob, as always. You know, people come up to us here at the show, they call us, they email us, and they say, okay, tell me how I get started with Cisco DNA. What do I do? Important thing to know, Cisco is going to be there to guide you every step of the way. We will help you navigate your journey to the digital ready network. You're going to know where you are at all times compared to your peers, your competitors. You're going to have everything available and right there at your fingertips, everything from readiness assessment and scalable design to automation tools, our award-winning Cisco support. This is on the security side, the Cisco iOS XP software side, DNA Center, software-defined access, intelligent WAN capabilities. What are you looking for? Network analytics, assurance, digital-ready infrastructure, you name it, it is all part of Cisco DNA. Bottom line, DNA is out there making you more agile, helping you to innovate more quickly, helping you differentiate your experience, helping your vision, and make sure that your services are out there a lot further. This is the digital age. I mean, look around us, come on, you can fight this, you can flow with it, it's up to you. We are in the digital age. So we want to be able to mine network analytics. Who are our users? Where do they come from? How are they moving through our stores, through our venues? What are they consuming? When are they consuming it? How, where? That is exactly what the digital network architecture is all about. We've got one more video. We've got our great Scotiabank customer here with us, and we want to hear what Scotiabank has to say about Cisco DNA. I'll see you all on the back end of the VT.
Welcome, thank you so much. Today we are really excited to talk about our next chapter of intent-based networking. And today we're going to talk to you about DNA Center Assurance. This is a major innovation that's going to help address one of the biggest problems that we hear from our IT customers, troubleshooting the network. We are now talking about a new technology that leverages the intelligence of the network and provides a very easy interface that's going to help our customers help isolate issues, replicate issues, and resolve issues. But rather than hearing it from me, I'd like to welcome one of our customers and tell you their experience with DNA Center Assurance. So with that, I'd like to invite Nicholas Yurkovich from Scotiabank. He's the Chief Network Engineer, and he's going to tell about his experience with DNA Center Assurance. So Nicholas, let's help the customers understand a little bit more about Scotiabank and the environment there.
Thanks so much. Pleasure to be here today. So yeah, I mean, Scotiabank's a very large organization. We're the third largest bank in Canada. We've got about 88,000 employees across the globe. We have a little bit over 300,000 IP assets that we support, and we're making a major journey towards wireless networking. Yeah,
actually I've heard that you guys are going to an all wireless network. You're already at 125,000 square foot and on your way to 1 million square foot by 2020. So tell us a little bit more about the challenges you're facing.
Absolutely. So about a year and a half ago, we decided to go kind of down this journey of wireless networking. And when I say wireless networking in our space, it's not secondary access. We've actually deployed wireless as the primary mode of access in those spaces. In most of those locations, there is no longer a wired connection for the user to actually connect into. So the need for a primary mode of wireless access with stability has been a primary capability that we've had to deliver. The main challenge I would say that we've had during the life cycle of that has actually just been random disconnects. And those random disconnects typically are not necessarily related to the wireless infrastructure, but due to some other factor that might be happening. And we're looking to leverage some tools and technologies from Cisco to help identify them, such as DNA Center Assurance.
Yep. So tell us, actually, you shared a little bit about the digital factory and what you guys are doing there to help better improve the user experience.
Perfect. So the digital factory, it's one of our main new campus locations in the Greater Toronto area. It's about 70,000 square feet, and there's about 300 to 400 agile specialists, DevOps type workforce there. It's got a real startup type look and feel to the location, and it truly is an all wireless location. It was one of the first that we did in the last year and a half where we deployed all wireless. We went with Cisco's latest and greatest wireless technologies there, and we went through some significant hurdles in the beginning, but as we deployed and as we grew and as we learned, we overcame all of those things, and now it's one of the best locations that we have, and the users there, they love the ability to be wireless. The ability to roam across the office, go from activity-based working space 1 to a different type of activity-based working space, fabulous.
Awesome, that obviously will help you expand this all wireless network to your entire organization. Now, you had indicated this a little earlier when you were describing the challenges of your wireless network, but whenever a user issue comes up, the network is always the first to blame. So tell us a little bit about how DNA Assurance is changing that experience for your IT team.
Totally. So of that 125,000 square feet, we've got about 25,000 of that square foot coverage with DNA Center Assurance. And what we're doing there, we're using it as essentially a pilot in the early field trial that we've been doing with Cisco to help us diagnose these issues a little bit earlier on. Today and historically, when those issues arise, we'd focus on going right down into WLCs, potentially into the access points, and it becomes very cumbersome in terms of troubleshooting. And in most cases, my engineering team is actually looking at doing those troubleshooting versus the first line support groups. With DNA Center Assurance, we've actually been able to look at DNA Center Assurance for those first line support calls, and actually is allowing us to move those calls over to the level 1 support groups to actually service and take those calls, and in many cases, handle that call much before it even has to go to a level 2, a level 3, or even to the engineering team from a support avenue.
That's great, because that's what we need to do, is help you guys free up your time. So what are you going to do with this extra time?
Absolutely. I mean, if we had the ability to free up time, I'm freeing up potentially a half or even a full resource out of my team just because of some of the value that we're getting out of DNA Assurance. That individual can go back to doing the engineering design activities. They can look at evaluating next generation technology and doing some of the real cool things versus just the troubleshooting. Hey, I've got a problem, and it turns out to be a potential user issue behind the scenes.
Awesome. So tell me, what are some of the best features within DNA Center Assurance?
Well, I mean, rudimentary, the tool right out of the gate gives you this beautiful dashboard. It gives you the ability to like point, click, drill right down from the start. It gives you two different fields of information primarily out of the gate. The first being some insight into your network components and if they're actually healthy. Are they operating? Are they online? Do you have access points that are offline? Do you have wireless controllers that might have failed? Is there a hardware level issue? And then second that, it gives you a secondary score out of 100 essentially that replicates a user perspective of the environment. So your network infrastructure might be healthy, but your users may not be. And you can actually point and click and drill down there to isolate from there directly into what they call a 360 user view, for example, where you can actually see what that user may be experiencing, why the user may be experiencing it, and even then, if they experienced it an hour ago, 2 hours ago, or a day ago, you can actually drill down and slide the scale back, the time scale back, and look in to get that piece of information to figure out why that issue might have existed.
Yeah, it sounds like the root cause is so much easier to find.
Totally.
Yeah. So I'm sure as a new technology, everyone in our viewing audience wants to know, what was the deployment experience like? So come on, and go ahead and tell us a little bit about that.
So as I mentioned, we've got it deployed for about 25,000 square feet for us today. It's a little bit over 100 access points. It's a pair of WLCs. And this environment is one of our IT operations spaces. So the needs of the users are quite high in comparison to some of the more back office type groups. So if there's an issue, they're actually somewhat first usually to complain, first to problem identify, and the first one to actually come to us and say, hey, I've got an issue. From there, we can actually get into these tools. When we're looking at the 360 view, for example, we can drill down to, is it an issue with the actual wireless infrastructure? Is it an issue with the client device, for example? Or is it an issue with something outside of the infrastructure as a whole, outside interference, for example?
Great. So a lot of great, rich information right where you need it, right at the right time.
Totally.
That's good. Any final advice for our audience?
Totally, I would say, I mean, with wireless, I think a lot of people try and deploy it as a secondary service to start, to get their feet wet, if you wanted to call it that. I think that does work in terms of learning the technology and the infrastructure, how to build it and actually support it. But really, to do this properly and to move forward, you have to deploy it as a primary mode of access. You need to cut the cord, if you wanted to call it that, to the cable and the wired network connections to those users and force them into experience what a wireless deployment might be like, and allow your operational teams as well as your support groups to figure out how to actually support it. And DNA Assurance is really what's allowing us to do that successfully.
Awesome, fantastic. Well, Nicholas, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your experience with DNA Center Assurance. And thank you to our audience for joining us for this session.